I am Gravotan, and you're probably asking, Gravotan, what the fuck does bite-sized edition mean? Well, you see, it can be very time-consuming to devote a whole episode of post-defeat to every single superhero battle. So we decided for certain superhero battles, we would do a compact iteration of the show. A miniature version. And I can't think of a more appropriate time to do that than with Legos. You know, because they're tiny and you can choke on them. I haven't choked on any Legos, shut up! So back in 2014, we were plunged into the world of Legos. We got to see what it was like from their perspective. And it turns out that it's self-reverential meta-humor all around, and filled up the ass with pop culture references. But the biggest one of all was the presence of Buttman. As much as I hate those superheroes, I have to respect the ones that manage to get many different iteration after iteration, all completely different. And the most recent of those iterations is the Lego iteration. Unless you count the Lego Batman video games that go all the way back to the early 2000s. Sure, he's been comedic before, but has he ever been meta as fuck? So it got everyone wondering, if this is what this version of Batman is like, then what about all of Buttman's mythology? Well, except for Jason Todd and Lucius Fox, and also Batmite and Ventriloquist. Those are actually kind of surprising. You'd think those would be a no-brainers, but then again, maybe the sequel. So after 3 whole years, we finally got our answer. And spoilers! 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 Buttman is one of us? No, this can't be. It's impossible. It sounds too good to be true. The #1 most beloved kiss-assed superhero of all time is one of us? The more that I think of it, the more I realize that's kind of actually true. How come I never thought of this, but this movie did? This movie has thought of a lot of things that I wouldn't think of. In fact, why am I even saying Buttman in the first place when this movie makes fun of itself all over the place? They point out all of these past Batman references and even more pop culture references that don't even have to do anything with Batman. I mean, for Jesus Steppenwolf Christ's sake, they make a jab at Marvel. They fucking do it. What kind of black magic is this? What kind of dark sorcery is this? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that DC always has been urging to do that, but they do it here? Not to mention all the callbacks, just every single callback, internet meme callbacks, callbacks that not even I would come up with. Oh no, it's Deadpool all over again. How am I supposed to riff it when it riffs itself? How am I supposed to add a bunch of pop culture references if they do it themselves? And how am I supposed to make a whole bunch of dirty jokes? That's where the similarities to Deadpool ends. This is a kids movie, which means there are no dirty jokes, except for... Oh my god, they made a dick joke about Richard Grayson. They fucking did it. In a Lego movie. What is the point of me even being here? I have no purpose! No purpose! No purpose! No! Oh no! Reality is warping and bending. I have transformed into a Lego myself.
Hey, pull yourself together.
It's you! You're the one responsible for this.
Don't blame me that you're not as clever as Lego now.
I can't believe I have to deal with you again. Haven't you ruined my dreams enough?
Ah, you're getting me confused with that other Joker. The one who sent dead animals to his co-stars. That's not how I roll.
Yeah, but it's still low-hanging fruit to even make us joke about Suicide Squad, one of the biggest punching bags of 2016, right next to Buttman v Super-de-Duper Man.
Oh, that's the spirit. You're still saying Buttman instead of Batman, so your spirit hasn't completely been broken.
It's just about to be broken by Doug Benson Bane. Doug Baneson!
Congratulations! You're probably the only person who cares that Doug Benson was in this project.
Nah, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of potheads who care too. And what's worse is that they're not even done this year. They're gonna come back in September and do the same thing with ninjas. Well, at least it's not superheroes again, so I won't have as big of a stake in that fight.
Listen, we gotta get you back on your game. You can't let my success and achievements bring you down just because I'm better at this craft than you.
Stop reminding me that you're better at reverential comedy.
Not just that, but also world building. Using supervillains. All kinds of supervillains. Prepare for more rubbing in the face. Think of it as my therapy for you.
Oh, great. So instead of me interviewing you, it's the other way around, is it?
Yeah, basically. Prepare to be amazed by this villain, that villain, these villains, those villains, that villain, this villain, and these and those and them and they and this and that and this and that and those.
Okay, I'm getting less mesmerized.
Why? Isn't this amazing?
Yeah, until you revealed at the end of your list that you Googled everything.
No, I said for them to look it up on Google.
Yeah, but that means that it's pretty easy to find access to all these villains. But you know what? Now that we're talking about it more, I'm beginning to realize maybe I shouldn't feel like too much of a failure. After all, a lot of this seems like really easy comedy to make. Not to mention you didn't really utilize all of your celebrity villain combos. I mean, come on, a lot of them were wasted. Conan O'Brien as Riddler? That should have been more than one line. Or how about Kate Micucci as Clayface? Sure, that's a weird choice as all fuck, but if you're gonna do it, then why not actually do something about it? Like having her perform a duet with Poison Ivy, since Poison Ivy is voiced by the other half of Garfunkel and Oates. This should have written itself. Speaking of which, what about the biggest wasted opportunity of all? The one that was hyped to all hell during the casting announcements. Billy fucking D fucking Williams. Yes, Billy D as Two-Face, bringing back an cliffhanger that was never paid off earlier in the Batman franchise, but now finally is, and he doesn't even say anything.
He has a couple of lines.
Yeah, but we barely understand him. I mean, fuck, Orca had more lines than him. Orca! A killer whale with boobs!
Okay, so maybe we didn't utilize everybody, but you have to respect the fact that we have broken the record for most Batman villains in one single feature film.
Okay, first of all, it's not really that remarkable when you remind yourself that this is an animated movie, animated, and second, you blew your wad.
Hey, this is a Lego property, no sex jokes.
Except for that dick joke.
Well, yeah, the dick joke.
And a couple of innuendos here and there.
Well, of course, every kid's movie has that, it's a staple.
But seriously though, you used up all of those villains way too early, right at the beginning of the movie. That should have been what the movie was leading up to, was all of the villains all in one place. But nope, let's not use this for the climax, let's just do it right at the beginning of the film.
Oh, you forgot.
You forgot about what?
That was just setting up to an even bigger supervillain army at my command.
Really? You had another supervillain army. Let me guess, you Googled all of the DC villains. How many came up on Google?
I didn't limit myself to DC villains.
Wait, what? But that would mean... Oh, no. No! You didn't! You didn't!
Yes! I resorted to all of the villains of all of pop culture! This villain, and that villain, and these villains, and those villains, and this villain, and that villain, and him, and her, and he, and she, and it, and whatever the hell, and all of these, eeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe!
I'm at a loss of words. I can't think straight. I can only barely comprehend this. You did it, Joker. You did it. There really is no reason for me. I made this channel so that I could get together all of the supervillains. I thought I was one up against you because you were not only limited to just Batman villains, but also DC villains, whereas I have access to all kinds of supervillains. But every single day, I would always have to remind myself that even though I have a wide array at my disposal, I don't have all of the villains. Lord Voldemort, Sauron, Jaws, the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park, Agent Smith. I mean, that's a fucking rated R movie. Gremlins! Who has thought of Gremlins in the last decade? Except for Key and Peele and Andre the Black Nerd. There's no reason for me to keep doing this when you're better at every single thing I do.
Ha ha! I did it!
Wait a minute, I thought you were trying to get me back on the saddle, not push me all the way off.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I'm bipolar like that. I try to go this certain way at first, but then I completely go into a different direction.
That sounds like every single YouTube video that's ever been on this channel.
Hey, look at that. You're self-deprecating, just like what we do.
Yeah, you did take a couple of jabs at the DC Extended Universe, and it was kind of ballsy doing that jab at MCU. I mean, especially considering that Lego has the Marvel property, only in the video games and toys, not with the movies. But still, I mean, I'd imagine Marvel would have had to sign off on that or something, since they're associated with Lego. So you kinda did it. You took a jab at Marvel before they ever would at you. Granted, that probably means they're more dignified and more graceful than DC, but still, that took a lot of balls. A lot of Lego balls. Which means they're not balls at all. They're more like dodecahedrons.
So now that you learned a little bit of humility, does that mean you're willing to pick yourself up and dust yourself off?
I believe so. And plus, I have to remind myself that this is a big budget production. I mean, it's fucking Warner Brothers. Why the fuck am I comparing myself to you guys? Of course I would look like complete shit.
See? Just compare yourself to other YouTubers.
Exactly. Which means I still got a ways to go. Although the comparisons are still noticeable, like how at the end, you guys all get together to have a sing-along song. That's what me and my villain bros do. We all get together and have parties at the epilogues of huge, big story arc conclusions. Except the difference is that you guys dance, although I might have to take some pointers from you guys. Maybe we should dance in our epilogues, and all wear the same color. White, like we're all in a boy band.
I don't think you're taking the right lessons here.
No, I am taking the right lessons, such as the fact that I shouldn't beat myself too much for not coming up with such satirical comedy, because a lot of it is from the mentality of children. Kids! It's supposed to be like kids made them, because that's what was revealed in the first Lego movie. Except it might be real in an alternate dimension, because we see one of the Legos actually moving in the live action sequence, and so if we take that consideration into this movie, without ever seeing the child who's controlling everything, it all makes sense that you wouldn't think of picking apart basic movie storytelling, or basic Batman storytelling for that matter, because only a kid would think to point out those certain things, like the beginning black screen and ending white screen, or the logos, or Batman being a god even though he's just a dude, and how he thinks so high of himself, or why he's a loner and a team leader all at the same time. And it also explains all of the non-Batman characters thrown in here. I mean, everyone always wants to pit Batman against other characters that aren't DC, but they can't because that wouldn't make sense in a big production due to legal rights. But a kid doesn't give a fuck about legal rights. But seriously though, what was it like hanging out with non-supervillains? You know, the villains that I can't interact with, but you can!
I didn't really hang out with them that much, but at least it gives you a reason why we didn't do too much with the pre-established Batman villains, because we gotta make room for these villains. Also mix-matched with random celebrities, and barely utilized, like Eddie Izzard as Lord Voldemort, Jermaine Clement as Sauron, Seth fucking Green as King fucking Kong.
Oh, but I noticed something. You didn't have Darth Vader in there, huh? Huh? There's a Lego Darth Vader. Where is Lego Darth Vader?
Oh, you know why we can't use Darth Vader, because that's a Disney property. It's the same thing with Marvel. We can only use that property for cartoons and video games and toys, but not the movies.
Oh, really? Then how do you explain that cameo in the first Lego movie? I mean, Billy D. Williams had more lines as Lando than he did as Two-Face.
Well, keep in mind the first Lego movie was before Force Awakens, and this one is after, so that probably means that the property is a little bit more uptight than it was before, so that's probably why we had to forego that villain and a couple of other Disney ones. You know, we can't use all of them, especially the Marvel ones. I mean, come on, me interacting with Loki, you don't want your brain to explode.
And maybe you should be criticized for that, for not exploding my brain.
Ah, don't tempt me. I have a weapon.
Wait, I thought you were the more kooky version of the Joker, not the dark, evil one that I had to deal with back in August.
Hey now, Joker is Joker, and all Jokers share the same type of deluded nature to them. And what's more nonsensical than to consistently be the child-friendly version of Joker, only to all of a sudden be the sociopathic, merciless, gruesome, serial killer Joker?
Put that down! You don't know what you're doing! That's how Morgan Freeman died! In the movies, not in real life, as of this recording.
Hey man, I've been suppressing my murder nature this whole interview. All that matters is that your seconds of life are numbered, so you better make them count. Any last questions before we split?
Yes, I have one question. What's it like finally having a chance further than you ever have before to explore the sexual chemistry between you and Batman?
This interview is over.
I regret nothing. I lived my life to the fullest, and I finally confronted the Joker about his sexual tension for Batman. Man, when you play rough.
Listen, you should give me credit for not breaking character during this whole little playtime we had.
It wasn't playtime, it was an exercise. Since Lego Joker isn't a real thing, it's just a little toy. So we had to use our imaginations. Imagination.
You're making it really tempting now for me to decimate your body, taking out your digestive system and using it as jump ropes.
Yeah, you're right. This play session is over. But I think these sessions are good for you. They're teaching you how to maintain friendships so that you can have a good, healthy life. After all, that was the whole point of Lego Buttman, maintaining a social life. Just like how I'm helping you so that you can have a good, healthy relationship with Harley.
Yeah, I know. You're helping me out there, Gravy.
You gave me a nickname. See, we're developing a bond. By the way, how have things been going with Harley?
So coming around, you know. I'm slowly trying to inch my way to a commitment. You know, it's gonna be a little bit hard, you know, to actually admit that to her. But it's baby steps, basically. It's baby steps. It's a process. You know, just one thing at a time right now.
Good, 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 good. And who knows? Maybe someday you could return the favor.
What, you mean play matchmaker with you? I don't know. Didn't you already have a main squeeze?
I don't want to talk about it. Not until April.
Ah, foreshadowing. I gotcha. I know too much about that. My whole appearance last year was a foreshadow. Unlike this appearance, kinda sad, really, that this interpretation that I'm holding right now is gonna be the way more acclaimed version in this new generation than me.
Well, I mean, you have to take into consideration that this is arguably the most comic book-based Joker has ever been on the big screen. Before that, he was either just a 1940s gangster from the 1989 movie, or a disturbingly realistic anarchist in the 2008 movie, or the angsty gothic thug right in front of me, you. I guess instead of everybody loving Leto Joker, they prefer Lego Joker. Well, you got to admit, Zach Galifianakis has more experience playing clowns. And being the son of Louis Anderson dressed as a chick. Granted, this is still not the most comic book based we could have gotten, but it's pretty damn close. What makes it sort of different but unique is that this version embraces the criticism that we use Joker way too much, and so it also deconstructs that idea as to whether or not he should be Batman's #1 enemy, and is that really the case? And if so, why? And it deals with that dilemma in a allegorical way, and that allegory is by comparing it to a love story.
And there you go, ruining the moment. I'm out of here.
Bye, Joker! Bye! Maybe if I dress up like this, he'll come crawling back to me, huh? I know you're into role-playing. Isn't that right, Joker?
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, he's just still trying to accept the fact that his true emotions towards Batman have been revealed to the public. Not outright, but in a satirical manner.
That doesn't make it any better.
Okay, I get it. Alright, I'll no longer talk about the sexual passion that is clearly there, but Joker is denying. No more! Completely done! Okay, see you next time on another bite-sized edition of Post-Defeat!